He said I was just part of the plan to win her back, but now he's chasing after me. Emma Reyes had one rule: stay invisible. She had perfected the art of blending into the background, unnoticed by most people at school, except for one, Aiden Torres. The charming, wealthy, and devastatingly handsome golden boy who seemed to have everything. She couldn't help but feel like she didn't belong in his world. It all started when she got caught sneaking out of the teacher's lounge with the answer sheets for the next test in her bag. Her heart skipped a beat when she saw Aiden standing in the hallway, arms crossed, smirking at her. "Emma Reyes, caught in the act," he said, his voice dripping with sarcasm. "Didn't think you had it in you." She tried to shrug it off, but her cheeks were burning. "You're not going to tell, right?" He eyed her for a long moment, and then his lips curled into a devilish grin. "I won't tell, but you're going to help me." "Help you? With what?" Emma raised an eyebrow. "Pretend to be my girlfriend for a month," Aiden said, casually, like it was the most normal thing in the world. "Make my ex, Lena, jealous. She's been getting too comfortable with thinking she can have me back. This will put an end to that." Emma's blood ran cold. "You're blackmailing me?" He shrugged nonchalantly. "If you want to call it that. I'd prefer to call it a deal." Her mind raced. She could refuse, but the thought of him exposing her secret weighed heavily on her. She wasn't a liar, but she was desperate. And so, against her better judgment, she agreed. She extended her hand, sealing her fate. "Fine, but you better keep your word." "Don't worry, I always do," Aiden said, shaking her hand firmly, though she had no idea how much his words would come to haunt her. The next few days felt like a strange game that Emma was stuck in. Aiden was colder than she expected, barely acknowledging her except when they were performing in front of his ex, Lena. He would hold her hand just enough to make people notice, but when the crowds were gone, he would distance himself, leaving Emma to wonder if this was really worth it. They walked down the hall together, but his grip on her hand felt like a leash, pulling her along, his eyes constantly scanning for Lena. Every time Emma tried to speak to him, he would respond with the bare minimum. "Just act like you like me," he would say with a smirk, his voice cold. She didn't know why she expected anything more from him. After all, this was just a business arrangement, nothing personal. "You're really good at this," Aiden commented one day as they stood together in the cafeteria. "Pretending to be my girlfriend. I almost believe it." Emma stiffened, but he wasn't looking at her. He was watching Lena and her new boyfriend from across the room. Emma felt the pit in her stomach deepen. Aiden's gaze was distant, like she didn't matter. She was just a tool in his game. She forced herself to smile, but it didn't reach her eyes. She hated how much she wanted to mean something to him, how much she wanted him to look at her like he cared. When Lena passed by their table, Aiden shot her a glance, barely acknowledging her. Emma's heart tightened. This was all just a show to him, a game he could win at any cost. And somehow, she had become a pawn in it. It was the kiss that shattered everything. It was supposed to be for show, a quick kiss in front of Lena, a way to push her jealousy to its peak. But when Aiden's lips met hers, it wasn't quick. It was urgent, almost desperate, like he had been waiting for this moment. He pulled her into him, his hand cupping her cheek, his other arm wrapped around her waist. Emma's mind raced. This wasn't part of the plan. She wasn't supposed to feel his lips against hers like this. Not with so much force, not with so much need. When they pulled away, Aiden didn't say anything, but his eyes held something unreadable. "That worked," he said after a long silence, his voice unusually soft. "Lena's definitely jealous now." Emma's pulse was racing. "You didn't have to kiss me like that." Aiden shrugged, his usual cocky smile returning. "I do what I need to do to win. Don't get too attached. You're not really my girlfriend, remember?" Those words stung more than she cared to admit. She wasn't his girlfriend. She never would be. But even as she told herself that, her heart betrayed her. She wanted more. And Aiden? He was everything she had never expected. The days grew colder between them. Aiden continued his act, but his demeanor toward Emma was harsher now. He barely spoke to her outside of their fake relationship routine. He would ignore her in the hallways, scroll through his phone while she was right next to him, and only make small talk when it was absolutely necessary. One afternoon, she found herself sitting alone at lunch, a tray of food in front of her. She had tried to engage him in a conversation earlier, but Aiden had brushed her off, distracted by some girl who was clearly more his type. "You know," Aiden said, walking up to her and tossing his bag onto the table, "you're starting to get clingy. I'm not really the relationship type." Emma's stomach twisted. "What's that supposed to mean?" He sat down across from her, his face expressionless. "It means stop acting like we're in love. This is just for show. Don't make it complicated." Emma felt like someone had punched her in the chest. "I never said anything about love." "Good," he replied coolly. "Keep it that way." As the words left his mouth, Emma's heart shattered. It was like he was a stranger, someone she didn't recognize anymore. She forced herself to look away, to keep her emotions in check. But the hurt was real, and it was slowly killing her. Jason came into the picture like a breath of fresh air. He was the new guy, charming, confident, and unlike Aiden in every way. Where Aiden was distant and cold, Jason was warm and kind. He greeted Emma with a smile every morning, asked her how her day was going, and made her laugh without trying. At first, Emma thought it was just a harmless crush, but when he asked her to join him for coffee after school, she realized she was starting to enjoy his company in a way that felt natural, real. "You don't have to keep pretending with him," Jason said one day, walking her home. "I can see how unhappy you are. You deserve someone who actually cares about you." Emma's heart skipped a beat. "I don't know what I'm doing anymore. He's using me." Jason nodded, taking her hand gently. "Then stop letting him. Let me show you what it feels like to be treated right." That was all it took. For the first time in weeks, Emma felt a spark of hope. Maybe this wasn't all a lost cause after all. Aiden didn't like it. When he saw Emma laughing with Jason the next day, a familiar feeling twisted in his gut. It wasn't jealousy. He told himself that. It was annoyance. Jason was an obstacle, someone who didn't know his place. But when he heard Jason call Emma babe, something inside him snapped. The jealousy hit him harder than he expected. He walked up to them, a sharp edge in his voice. "You think you can just take what's mine?" Emma blinked, pulling away from Jason. "What are you talking about? Don't act like you don't know. I'm not some second choice for you to play around with, Emma." Aiden's eyes were cold, his fists clenched. Jason stepped in front of Emma. "Back off, man. She's not your property." Aiden's gaze locked onto Jason, but Emma spoke before he could say anything else. "Aiden, stop. This isn't about you anymore." She turned to Jason, pulling away from both of them. "I'm done with this." Her heart ached as she walked away. She couldn't believe how much Aiden had hurt her, how much she had allowed herself to believe he might care. The next few weeks were painful. Aiden's arrogance was at an all-time high, his demeanor as cold as ever. But something in the way he looked at Emma had shifted. There was regret in his eyes now, hidden behind a wall of pride. He didn't say anything, but she could feel it. He was losing her, and it terrified him. He watched her and Jason together more than he liked. The way she smiled at him, the way Jason treated her like she was the most important person in the room. Aiden had been too late. He had let her slip away. "Why are you with him?" Aiden finally asked one day, his voice low. "He's just a rebound." Emma looked him dead in the eyes. "I'm not a game, Aiden. I'm done pretending with you." Jason made her feel alive again. He held her hand like it meant something, kissed her forehead with tenderness, and made her laugh in a way that felt real. He was everything Aiden wasn't, and Aiden could see it. Every day he felt the sting of losing her more and more. He didn't want to admit it, but the pain was eating away at him. He had treated her like she was disposable, like she was just a pawn in his game. He tried to get her attention once more, but when he saw her with Jason, everything inside him crumbled. "You don't deserve him," Aiden said one day when they were alone. "You deserve someone who actually cares about you, not someone who's just going to use you." Emma stared at him, her heart breaking. "That's rich coming from you." She turned away, walking into Jason's arms, and Aiden was left standing alone, wondering where it all went wrong. When Jason kissed Emma that night, Aiden knew it was over. He couldn't take it anymore. He had pushed her away for so long that now she was finally moving on, and he couldn't stop it. "I should have never treated you like that," Aiden whispered the next day, his voice raw with regret. "I was an idiot. You mean more to me than I ever admitted." But it was too late. Emma's gaze was firm, her heart no longer torn between the two. "You had your chance, Aiden. I gave you everything, and you threw it away." With one final look, she walked away. And this time, Aiden couldn't chase her anymore. He had lost her. For good.